Todd Boyles and the Bucs. Todd Boyles and the Bucs. Todd Boyles and the Bucs. Sorry, it's probably just my Tourette's or OCD. Whatever. Let's talk about the game.
Elbow, forearm, he's going to be down.
The result of the play is a touchdown.
And then the flag that was thrown on this was picked up.
I don't know, did it get the face mask?
So by rule, the game is over.
The Lions Hangover.
All right, welcome to the Lions Hangover podcast. I am Brad. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. If you find me on one, you can definitely find me on the other. And, of course, don't forget to check me out on all social medias. I appreciate follows, comments, all of that stuff. Please subscribe and rate the podcast. 5 stars are appreciated. 1 star's not appreciated as much. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that so much. We are here to talk about the Detroit Lions going down to Tampa Bay and winning with a score of 20-6. The Lions bump their record up to 5-1, while the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drop to 3-2. Too bad for the Bucs, right? Man, what an impressive game. The Lions dominated, I feel like, on both sides of the ball. Jared Goff, his arm is going to be sore tomorrow. He threw for over 40 pass attempts. We'll get into the stats in a little bit, but man, he threw the ball a lot. David Montgomery goes out with a rib injury. Hopefully he's going to be okay. The defense does not allow a single touchdown. It was just an excellent performance on both sides of the ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown has himself a game. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's dive into the stats. The first thing we need to talk about is Riley Patterson. He gets the scoring started for us for the Detroit Lions with a 30-yard field goal with 8:09 remaining in the first quarter. That puts the Lions up to 3-0. Then a kicker, Chase McLaughlin for Tampa Bay in the second quarter with 7:34 left. Don't worry, I'll slow down in a second. I'll talk a little bit more clearer. He kicks a 33-yarder. That'll be his first of 2 on the day. And next, Amon-Ra St. Brown with 2:39 left in the second quarter. He gets a 27-yard pass from Jared Goff. This was the one with the Craig Reynolds block. That was a fantastic block by Craig Reynolds. If it wasn't for that block, Amon-Ra St. Brown would not have this touchdown. I thought Craig Reynolds played solid today, but he didn't necessarily run the ball as well as I would have liked. Definitely not as well as last week against Carolina. Nonetheless, it was fantastic block, and everybody's playing their part on this team, and it's all about the greater good, and it was a hell of a block. So that puts the Lions up 10-3 going into halftime. Now, coming out of the third quarter, Chase McLaughlin starts scoring off for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the 7:44 mark of the third quarter. That it pulls it to within 4. Lions are winning at this point 10-6. And then finally, the moment we were all waiting for, Jamison Williams catches a pass from Jared Goff for 45 yards, and it was a contested catch, too. I mean, defensively, this guy was all over Jamison Williams. You could probably say that if he did not catch it, it could have been pass interference. I would have been okay with that as well. But this is what he needed, man. He caught this ball. He came down with it. He secured it, and it's his first touchdown of the season. And I think this is all that Jamison Williams needs. He needs some catches. He needs some opportunities. I'm so happy they kept going back to him because he did drop that one. It wasn't the greatest catch from Jared Goff. It was a little bit low, but it was definitely within his wheelhouse, and he was open to catch it. He had no pressure on him, and he dropped it, so I was really happy to see that they kept giving him an opportunity. And sure enough, he came through with that 45-yard catch against I don't remember who was guarding him, but man, he caught it, pulled it down, and the Lions go up 17-6. Now, somewhere in there, Riley Patterson misses a 52-yard field goal, and honestly, it doesn't bother me one bit. The kick was long enough, 52 yards. That's nothing to sneeze at. He just barely missed it wide. I love that they gave him an opportunity to kick the field goal because this is his longest attempt all year. And it's kind of like, well, we need to see what he can do. And honestly, it looked like it would have been good for another 10 yards. Like it had enough legs. So that's kind of reassuring for the Lions in a way. And because sooner or later, it's going to come down to his leg and if it's going to help us win or not. So I think it's very crucial that we know what he can do. And honestly, I would have the confidence in Riley Patterson and going for a 55-yarder. He's just got to work on his accuracy. But that leg strength, that was there. That kick was going to be good if it was just, 12 inches to the left. And at that point, the Lions were just looking to add on to the score as well. It wasn't necessarily crucial at that point. But he does come back and score in the fourth quarter with 12 minutes left with a 36-yard field goal. Don't have my glasses on because of the ring light glare. So, yeah, let's start breaking down some stats here. Jared Goff went 30 for 44 for 353 yards and 2 touchdowns. What a freaking amazing day. Now, a lot of passing attempts. I feel like they threw the ball more than they probably were game planned to do so because Montgomery did go out with that rib injury. So I do think they were throwing it a little bit more because Craig Reynolds, he's just not the running back that Gibbs and Montgomery is, and both of those guys are out. But I love Craig Reynolds regardless. Like, he is good. He carried the ball 10 times for 15 yards, and he was today's leading rusher. I think that was as far as rushing attempts goes. Amon-Ra St. Brown, like I said, he had himself a hell of a game today. 12 receptions for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. On the other side of the ball, Tampa Bay, Rondell White, he carried the ball 7 times for 26 yards. The Buccaneers, we'll get into the team stats so we can really sort of break them down a little bit more. So, yeah, Craig Reynolds, 10 carries, 15 yards. Montgomery, 6 carries, 14 yards. And Ozigbo, 3 carries for 5 yards. Jared Goff, 2 carries, 3 yards. It's nice to see that he's starting to open it up a little bit and scramble. Now, Jared Goff, not only did he throw it to Amon-Ra St. Brown 12 times, but Amon-Ra St. Brown was also one of, let's make sure I get this right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different receivers. Marvin Jones had a catch. Brock Wright had a catch. Ozigbo had a catch. Montgomery had a catch. Khalif Raymond had 3 catches. Craig Reynolds had 2 catches. Laporta had 4 catches for 36 yards. Josh Reynolds, I have to say, this is his best year as a Lion in the last 3 years that we've had him. And I'm not going to lie, I was not on the Josh Reynolds bandwagon. I thought he was... The whole time I kept hearing, him and Goff have chemistry together from L.A., and I wasn't seeing it. I was like, man, he's not throwing to Reynolds. Reynolds isn't doing anything amazing as far as I was concerned. Excuse me, a little bit of gas. Excuse me. But, yeah, this year, Josh Reynolds, he's been amazing. Every single ball he's caught, except one, has been for either a first down or a touchdown. I'm sure we all saw that if you watched the game. If not, hey, maybe I just surprised you with some knowledge. Of course, that streak was over today as he caught that ball for only 9 yards and not a full 10 yards, which he needed to keep that streak alive. But that's pretty amazing. Every ball he was catching was either for a first down or a touchdown. And then Jamison Williams, of course, had the 2 catches for 53 yards and a touchdown. And once again, Amon-Ra St. Brown, 12 catches, 124 yards, 1 touchdown, his longest being 27. Now, Montgomery did have a small fumble, but he recovered it himself. Alex Anzalone, I thought he had a fantastic day. He had 9 total tackles, 1 for a loss. Jack Campbell had 7 tackles. Tracy Walker played a good game, and he played it physical. I'm happy. I thought the officiating crew did pretty well today. I think they missed a couple holding calls, and to be fair, I think they missed it on both sides for Tampa Bay and the Lions. But other than that, I thought they did a pretty good job of calling this game evenly. They picked flags up, after they discussed it, and I would rather that happen than somebody get a crappy, call that really wasn't accurate. Cam Sutton, man, he almost had that interception. Come on, Cam. Get that ball, man. Hutch, he was pretty quiet, but he had some pressure on Mayfield. Mayfield, I feel like, had some pressure, especially near the end of the game when it mattered most. I feel like they were starting to get to him. We had 4 quarterback hits all day. Aleem McNeil had one. Benito Jones had one. Julian Okwara, however you want to say it, and Tracy Walker. They all had the quarterback hit, and Julian Okwara had the sack on Baker Mayfield today. Now, Will Harris had that interception early. That was pretty amazing as well. I think that came in the first or the second quarter. I think it was the first quarter. Will Harris had that interception. Khalil Dorsey, he returned 2 kicks. The longest was for 19 yards. There's one, I thought he returned the ball pretty well. And Khalif Raymond, he had a punt return, his longest being 15 yards. And that was also one where I was like, this dude's going to break it. Riley Patterson, again, went 2 of 3 of his field goals, his longest being 36 yards. And Jack Fox, I know everybody was like, oh, their punter is really good. Yeah, Jack Fox showed him how it was done. He had that one that was ended up on the 2-yard line. That was critical, too, because that was at the end of the game. So the Lions defense held Tampa Bay's offense to a mere 46 yards rushing. That was 4 different guys carrying the ball, including Baker Mayfield. Rashad White had 7 carries for 26 yards. Keyshawn Vaughn had 6 carries for 9 yards. Baker Mayfield, 2 carries for 6 yards. And Devin Tompkins, 1 carry for 5 yards. That equals 46 yards on 16 attempts. The Lions' run defense is legit. I don't want to hear anything about Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. The Lions defense is fine. They are all set. I'm not saying you can't always add depth or higher talent. That's not exactly what I'm saying. I'm just saying, last draft, people were probably giving the Lions some crap about how they needed help stopping the run. They've never had a problem stopping the run, and I believe that. They have a problem stopping mobile quarterbacks, and I will say that till I die, probably, at least until that changes. But I mean, mobile quarterback is a dual threat weapon, so that's a different animal than stopping a running back. But they stopped running backs today. They've stopped them all year, and I'm sure that puts their average below 60 yards per game, right? We'll have to see. I don't get those stats. Chris Godwin, he caught the ball 6 times for 77 yards. Mike Evans caught the ball 4 times for 49 yards. 0 touchdowns for anybody receiving or running. Again, the defense, freaking solid. Okay, so their defense, Levante David, he had 12 total tackles, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. They had 3 sacks on the day, and I felt like they did a good job of getting pressure on Jared Goff. Jared Goff, though, he's smart. He doesn't make too many mistakes. He does just throw it into the ground, especially for those design screen passes. Like, hey, somebody's coming. I'm just going to throw it on the ground. And honestly, the first time I saw it, it pissed me off a little bit. I'm like, why are you just throwing it into the ground? Why don't you just spin the opposite way and try to make something happen out of it? Especially when he did it late in the game. Just take the sack. I mean, keep that clock running. That was my thought. But it's. I'm just being nitpicky now. There's too much good to really be angry at Jared Goff. I got to say, there was maybe 2 passes today where I was like, oh, that's a horrible throw. But maybe 3. But they ended up catching them, except that Jamison Williams one where it was a bit low. I think it might have got tapped. Did it get tipped at the line? I believe it got tipped at the line. Leave me a comment on the YouTube video. I believe it got tipped at the line, though. Always leave me a comment. You got something to say, you disagree, you agree, or you got a little fun fact you want to throw in there, please leave a comment on the YouTube page. Oh, man. There's just so much hype, so much excitement. I love that I'm getting to this right after the game, too, because it's so fresh in my mind. All right, so that's all I really have to say about that. There were no bonehead plays by Dan Campbell. I thought he did a great job coaching the team. Again, the defense was freaking amazing. They went into Tampa Bay and they won. The Lions are 5-1. And now, next week, they travel to Baltimore to play a very beatable Baltimore Ravens. And you got to kind of think that maybe Jared Goff is going to have a chip on his shoulder, Like, hey, I remember all you guys saying trade for, what's his name? Yeah. So, yeah, let's get some stats up here for the Ravens game as they beat the Titans today. 24-16. They beat the Vikings. Keep messing that up. Yeah. So the Ravens today beat the Titans 24-16. Baltimore is 4-2. This is a very good opportunity for the Lions to go in there, go up to 6-1. Can you imagine that? 6-1, beating Baltimore in Baltimore. Of course, remember the last time they played, Justin Tucker kicked that 66-yard field goal. So hopefully that doesn't happen today. Justin Tucker had a fantastic day today, though. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 field goals. They didn't score a single touchdown today. Justin Tucker scored all of their points. Hey, good for Justin Tucker. But that's not going to work against the Lions, man. That is not going to work. You got to do better than that. Lamar Jackson, he went 21 of 30 for... Oh, no, he's listed for a touchdown. Why did that... Okay, sorry. My bad, but I see all these field goals by Justin Tucker. Where's the one touchdown? Hang on, I want to find it. Okay, Zay Flowers, he had one touchdown. That's all the offense scored was one touchdown. Sorry, I got excited. 6 times 3 is 18, not 24. My bad. Remember a week ago I was like, numbers is hard. But anyway, Lamar Jackson, he had 13 carries for 62 yards. He went 21 of 30 for 223, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. And Mr. Mark Andrews was the leading receiver, 4 receptions for 69 yards. The Ravens, they went up early. They were winning 18-3 at halftime. The Titans had a little bit of a comeback in the third quarter. It was 18-13, and then you get 2 more field goals in the fourth quarter and won by the Titans. So the final was 24-16. This sounds very beatable to me. You can't tell me that the Lions are not better than Tennessee by a mile, and they're going in there to play the Ravens, who can only score 1 touchdown, and they kick 6 field goals. Now, Justin Tucker can beat you, but he should not be the premier weapon of your team. So it's good that they used him today. I think if the Lions offense goes in there rolling, I don't think Baltimore's going to have a chance, honestly. And I hate to sound cocky, but it's like the Lions are 5-1, and they've beat some good teams. Tampa Bay was a decent team. Their defense was strong, and we still put 20 up on them. Kansas City, they've got a strong defense, and we still put, 21 on them. So I think all signs point to yes. All signs point to a win, a victory. I know they're going to play Baltimore in Baltimore. I'm just not scared. Lamar Jackson does not scare me. His legs scare me a little bit, and like I was saying, this is what the Lions struggle with the most, scrambling quarterbacks. They have a problem playing scrambling quarterbacks. But if they can contain him, 60 yards or less? If they can contain Lamar Jackson 60 yards or less, let's see how many points did they have or yards did they have on the ground. They had 139 yards rushing total. Lamar Jackson had 13 carries for the 62 yards, like I said. Then Gus Edwards had 16 carries for 41 yards. And then Justice Hill had 8 carries for 35 yards. And then, 39 carries total for 139 yards. That's not going to work. That's the Lions. If they get ahead like they did today, they are going to it's going to change the game plan for the Baltimore Ravens, and they're going to be forced to throw. And, man, Lamar Jackson, he doesn't scare me throwing. Look, that's not saying that the Lions are going to win. That's not saying that the Ravens can't beat us, and that doesn't mean that, Lamar Jackson can't throw on us. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm optimistic. Like, wouldn't you be optimistic? Aren't you optimistic? The Lions are 5-1. Freaking 5-1. Yes. And what did they say? This is the best start over 16 games since 1961 or 62 or something like that. It's ridiculous. Lions had 19 first downs. What was that stat that I saw? Time of possession. The Lions had 36 minutes, 30 seconds time of possession today. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 23 minutes, 30 seconds. In the fourth quarter, the Lions were amazing. That was like a 6 or 7 minute drive, wasn't it? And, man, penalized 5 times for 35 yards. The Buccaneers were penalized 5 times for 33 yards. I don't want to make sure I don't want to skip over anything. I just want to make sure I cover it all. 340 yards passing. That's just 30 for 44. I'm just in awe of everything that we saw. Now, their rushing attack was lame. The Lions' rushing attack. But, Montgomery got injured, so I'm sure that definitely changed the game plan, as I said. They only had 40 yards rushing on the ground today. Look for that to change. I don't know if Montgomery will be healthy next week. The ribs suck. That is a horrible injury, so hopefully Gibbs will come back. But we haven't seen enough from Gibbs yet to really be excited about, but that potential is there. So hopefully, if he does come, he will get that going. Jared Goff had a quarterback rating of 107.5 today, so that's pretty amazing as well. Like I said, he had a solid game, 353 yards on the ground. So how does that work? I still got to figure that out. They only got 340 yards passing, but Goff threw for 353. What is that? Sacks? That's what happens, right? Based off of the sacks. So we probably lost 13 yards getting sacked. Yep, there it is. I see it. I do the math. No need to comment on that one. I figured it out. Oh, yes. 5-1. Dude, it feels good. It feels so good. And it's like when somebody gets injured like Montgomery, somebody else steps up like St. Brown. 12 catches, 124 yards. That's huge. Even Montgomery had 19 yards receiving on 1 catch today. That was so good. All right, I think I'm out. I feel like I'm rambling now. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Tell your friends about me. I'm only going to get more excited. The clothes are going to have to start coming off or something. Lions keep winning. I'll just start Hulk Hogan these shirts. Anyway, that's it for me. You guys, thanks for watching. I'm sorry I'm so dumb all the time. I don't know how else to put it. But, yeah, that's it. I'm out. Peace out. See you guys next week after the Baltimore Ravens.